StockPulse Newsroom, talking Guanajuato Silver today. Guanajuato Silver trades GSVR on the Toronto Venture Exchange, GSVRF, OTCQX. In the States, here have been in the news lately, a couple items to clear with CEO James Anderson. James, appreciate the time here. I guess probably the top of the list here, you want to talk about Ramon Davila, moving him to president here. So I guess let's start there, run through that move.
Yeah, Rob, it's great seeing you. Thanks for having me back on. It's been a while. It's been too long, really. Thanks for the opportunity. So just last week, what we did is announce an addition to the C-suite and bringing Ramon Davila on as president of the company. And so the way that's worked with Ramon's becoming associated with our company, last year he joined our advisory board for about 2 months, and then I managed to convince him that he should be on our board of directors. So he did that. He's been very active. He's joined our management calls weekly for some time. We were having a couple of grade control issues in January. Ramon and Hernan Dorado, who's our chief operating officer, and myself went to Guanajuato and got into that. And just a few weeks ago, Ramon and I were having a discussion, about where he was at in his career, and I said, well, why don't you take on a bigger role with the company? And I've rarely seen Ramon as excited about that. He said, fantastic, love to. And I guess, Rob, maybe what I'll do for your listeners is just give people a high level understanding of who this gentleman is. He has had positions of authority at Pan American Silver and First Majestic. And really it's First Majestic where you can see the fingerprints of his work so clearly. So he was the chief operating officer and on the board of directors, but chief operating officer for 10 years when that company went from 4 employees to 4,000 employees. When the company went from 0 production to 12 million silver equivalent ounces per year. And I know that success has many fathers. There's lots of people involved in that company, but he was the chief operating officer through that whole period of growth. And the only reason that he stepped away from First Majestic in 2016, and I think it's a comment on the mark of the man, he had the opportunity to join government in the state of Durango where he lives. So he was afforded the opportunity to become the economy minister for the state of Durango, and he felt that was an important way for him to give back to his community and the state and the country where he lives and loves. So he did that for 4 years. And then, and Ramon and I like to joke about this. Both of us say that any good miner after 4 years in government, you got to get a real job again. So he's been looking for a way to get back involved in the mining business. And I can say categorically, he is very excited about what we're doing at Guanajuato, about being able to use the El Cubo mine and mill complex as a hub and spoke facility to be able to grow the company. But he's also got lots of other ideas for growth in the immediate area and in central Mexico generally.
So add a secret weapon to the already growing success of the company. So obviously a good strategic move there. So kudos to that. So I guess, boss, give us a quick little update here, maybe on how things are set in here. I know did a few things here to expand El Cubo. Maybe give us a little update if you can.
For sure. I'll make 2 more comments about Ramon and then move on to that, Rob. Number one, he's going to be president of the company. And what that is going to mean for us and for Ramon is he's going to be in charge of all Mexican operations, all aspects of Mexican operations. Everyone in Mexico will report to him, which is very helpful. And my last comment about Ramon, which is kind of fun. I mean, he is a graduate of the University of Guanajuato and a contemporary of our country manager, Gerardo Dorado. They knew each other in university. They've been friends ever since. So in a lot of ways, this too is, kind of like coming home for Ramon. Things are going well at the operation. I continue to use the words ramp up, and that's ramp up in terms of production, ramp up in terms of tons mined and processed. You'll remember last fall, Rob, when we were trying to guide people to what we might be able to do in terms of tonnage when we first reopened the mine and the plant. And I was always talking about, well, we're going to drive towards 22,500 tons a month or 25,000 tons a month. Well, we're already processing 30,000 tons a month regularly. And that's about 20,000 tons coming from El Cubo and 10,000 tons a month coming from the El Pinguico stockpile about 8 kilometers away from our processing facility. So that's good. And then we also, in our model, in our planning, we ramp up in terms of grade. So obviously our friends at Endeavour didn't necessarily leave us the highest grade stuff in the mine staring us in the face. So the material that we have available to us, readily available to us now, is good grade, but not spectacular. Over the coming months in our model, and we're already beginning to see a slow progression of this within our operations, just small incremental grade getting better and better, both in terms of silver and gold as we go forward. So that's all of that's operating very well.
Okay, well, a lot to pay attention to. Again, good acquisition there, strategic move. So I guess things are. What we'll see next, James? Give us one little cliffhanger here, and I'll let you go.
Well, I think anybody that's been following the story and hearing me speak about the story and what we're trying to do, El Cubo, we always felt that El Cubo was really the first step in our ability to be able to use that facility as this hub and spoke mining operation. Like I mentioned, I think that there are other expansion opportunities within the Guanajuato area that we can move on, and I think that will be something that's not in the distant future, something that we can act on relatively quickly. So expanding the company so that we can be a more important silver and gold producer. We'd like to still brag, Rob, about being Mexico's newest silver and gold producer. But I think that we need to expand our operations in order to be more relevant. And so our thinking caps are in that mode here right now.
Okay, we'll leave it there and look forward to checking back in when you have some more. That was James Anderson, CEO, Guanajuato Silver, GSVR, Toronto Venture Exchange, GSVRF, OTCQX in the States. Again, James, thanks for the time, and we'll check back in when you have some more news to report.
Cheers. Thanks so much.